Today, we're going to talk about a dish that's so much more than just food. I mean, it's practically a national symbol, sometimes even wrapped in newspaper. We're diving into the crispy legacy of fish and chips. Hello, we are Isabel and Leandro, English students at the Instituto de Idiomas, and we're going to present the dish fish and chips. So, to really get why this dish is such a big deal to an entire nation, we have to start with the basics. What exactly is on the plate? At its heart, it's a beautifully simple combo. You've got a piece of white fish, usually cod or haddock, that's dipped in a simple batter and then deep fried until it's perfectly golden and crispy. And that's served right alongside these thick-cut potatoes that are all fluffy on the inside and crunchy on the outside, what the British call chips. Of course, you can't forget the classic sides, a good splash of malt vinegar, a dollop of tartar sauce, and, for the real traditional experience, a scoop of bright green mushy peas. Okay, a quick but super important vocabulary lesson here. In the UK, when they say chips, they mean these thick fried potatoes, not the thin, crunchy snacks that come in a bag. Nope, those are called crisps. The batter is that simple, magical coating that gives the fish its famous crunch. And mushy peas, well, they're pretty much what they sound like. Smashed up, seasoned peas that are actually a surprisingly great partner for a rich fried meal. So how on earth did fried fish and fried potatoes, two completely separate ideas, end up coming together to create a national icon? Well, let's trace the history of this brilliant combination. The story really gets started back in the 19th century, with two different foods arriving in Britain. Fried fish was a tradition brought over by Jewish immigrants, and right around the same time, the idea of frying up chipped potatoes made its way over from France or Belgium. It wasn't until the 1860s that some genius decided, hey, let's put these together, and the very first chippy opened its doors. From there, it just exploded. It was cheap, it was filling, and it became a total lifeline for the industrial working class. But its status was really sealed during World War II. It was one of the very few foods that wasn't rationed, which made it a huge comfort and a massive morale booster for the whole country. And that's the key, right? This journey through history made it so much more than just a meal. It's become totally woven into the very fabric of British culture. And if you need any proof of just how important it is, get this. In a 2003 poll, fish and chips was officially voted Britain's #1 favorite dish. That says a lot about its place in the nation's heart. And this really shows you everything the dish stands for. It's a symbol of national identity, a real taste of home. It's deeply connected to working-class heritage, a nod to its roots as an affordable, hearty meal. For so many, it's the smell of seaside holidays, eating out of paper right by the coast. And it's the ultimate comfort food, a classic takeaway, or a staple meal down at the local pub. It's a dish that's tied to so many memories and traditions. But what's really fascinating is that this idea of a simple, fried, beloved national dish, well, it isn't unique to Britain. It has culinary relatives all over the world. Let's take a fantastic example from our home, Argentina. Now, on the surface, fish and chips and milanesa with fries might seem pretty different. I mean, one is fish, the other is a breaded meat cutlet, but culturally, they play the exact same role. They are both simple, traditional, incredibly popular comfort foods. They're the dishes people grow up with, the meals that just feel like home. They're a go-to choice everywhere, a huge part of our national culinary identity. And you see this pattern repeat itself all over the world. The French have their own version, poisson frite. And of course, fried fish is a huge deal in the United States, even if it's prepared with different spices and served with all sorts of sauces. It just goes to show you there's this universal love for that simple, satisfying combination of fried fish and potatoes. So after looking at the ingredients, the history, and all the cultural connections, what does it all really mean? Let's wrap this up with our final reflection. Our final thought is this. For all its simplicity, fish and chips is a deeply meaningful dish. It's a symbol of tradition and national identity, just like milanesa is for us in Argentina. It's so much more than just a meal. It's history on a plate. It's a story of immigration, of industry, and of resilience that you can actually taste. And that leaves us with one last thing for you to think about. See, every culture has a dish like this, one that carries stories and traditions in its flavors. So we'll ask you, what dish tells the story of your culture?